Hello, this is Mary from Pay-Per-View Crafting, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really lovely card. I've called it my Seriously Love You card, and as you can see I've done a pretty sort of spring coloured version, or as we're heading towards Valentine's Day, we're going to make a more sort of passionate Valentine's Day card version. So we're going to use the Because You Care Hostess stamp set, which is available to you in the new catalogue if you host a party, and it's got some really useful sentiments on it, and I love the font, so that's what we're going to be using. And we're going to make it in Calypso Coral today, and this is a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock measuring 6 by 8.5. This was real red, and this is the Wild Wasabi, which is very beautiful as well and goes with a lot of our new papers from the new catalogue. Okay, so we'll set those aside for now. And then you're going to need 2 pieces. Now this is the Irresistibly Yours paper. It's a set of DSP, and it is all in these white shades, which is really, they are lovely, but they are so useful. So I don't know if that's focusing, but you get all sorts of different patterns. But I've discovered if you sponge them, you can colour them to go with everything that you're making. So you end up with perfectly colour coordinated DSP to go with your project. So I've chosen the one with these stripes on it. So you see it went from being like that to like this quite quickly. I'll show you how to do that. And you need two pieces that are 5 3/4 by 1 7/8. But I'll put all this information on my blog and a link to my blog so that you can find all that. So we'll put those aside for now, and what we need to do first of all is to score this to get the double fold over, so the doors of the card. So get you a scoreboard, and we're going to put it the long way round, so that's the 8.5 inch piece along here, and we're going to score it at 2 1/8 on each side. Now the easiest way I find of doing that is to just, that's not very straight, do it on one side, turn it and do it on the other, and then you don't have to mess about trying to marry the two up. Let's put the scoreboard away, and then we'll just fold these over and make a really nice crease using your bone folder. And as simply as that, you have the basis of your card. Now, these overlap slightly because I think when I was making my prototypes, they matched in the middle, but I actually think that when you do this, you get it holds together more, so you can then open it to get your message inside. Okay, so we'll now get the 2 pieces of our DSP, and we're going to use the Calypso Coral ink. It's the classic ink pad, and all you need is a one of the sponges, and I cut mine into 8s. I know some people cut them into larger pieces than that, but I like them like that. First of all, we're going to just colour the edges to make sure that they don't stay white. And then if you just lie it down on a piece of paper that you don't mind getting messy, and then I like to work from the outside in, so you get more of a shaded effect. But if you do it in circular motions, then you get this, you don't get a sort of a set sponged mark. And you can do it as shaded or as heavy as you like. I like it to be shaded. I think it creates more of an interesting look. So let's pop that out of the way. So it's as simple as that. And then all we're going to do is to put some snail on the back of these. If you want to use something more robust, you can do, that's entirely up to you. But usually for cards, I find that snail's perfectly fine. But as I say, it's a personal choice. And then all we're going to do is pop these on here. I think you need to spend more time than I do on these to make them a little bit more even. Try and match up these though. When you put the second one on, try and marry it up a bit. And there it is, the basis of your card. We'll put that to one side for a moment. And then we're going to use our Because You Care, and I've chosen the I Seriously Love You. So there it is, all mounted. And I'm going to stamp it in real red this time. Ink pads have got rather messy with all this Valentine's work. So a bit of Whisper White cardstock. Sometimes when you're using these photopolymer stamps, it's easier to cushion it by putting something like a piece of foam or something underneath, or our piercing mat's fantastic for that, but there's a bit of give in this, so I think we'll be all right just doing it like this. Perfect. Pop that out the way. And then I'm going to use the 2-inch circle punch and punch that one out. And then with a bit of real red that I've got left, I'm going to punch it out using the 2 3/8 scallop. And then you can see you can start to build your little, I tend to think of it as looking like a flower, but I guess in a way it's it almost comes out like a rosette by the end of this. So I'm going to sponge the edges of the Whisper White with the Calypso Coral, and I'm going to do the same on the red. It's not going to show up too much, but it just creates a bit of a subtle effect which just finishes it off nicely. But if you don't want to do this, then you really don't have to, or you can colour it with the real red if you prefer. And then I'm just going to get a dimensional, stick on the back of this one, pop that on top of there, and then put 2 dimensionals on here, but put them on one side, slightly to the side of the card, because you want it to be fairly central. So you want, do it that way, that's easier. You want it to sit on the left hand side of the card, and that will hold it closed a little bit. Right, now on this one I made a little bow to go underneath. Now this is my new favourite toy. It is one of the most amazing things, and it is the Bow Builder Punch, and it gives you everything you need to make these dear little bows. It's really versatile, it's so quick and easy and incredibly effective. So I'm going to use the stripy paper again, and all you have to do is punch out 2 sets. And you only need one of the little centre bits, but those are your component parts. Then if you just take your bone folder and give this a little bit of a curl, then you'll find it easier to make the shape of your bow. And the little bit that goes around the middle. There we go, and then all we've got to do is use glue dots to put it all together. So it's very simple. You want a glue dot on one part of each of the ends of the bow, and then all you do is fold it over. I tell you, everything's had bows on it since I discovered this punch. It's one of the best things I think I've bought in a long time, and there were some fantastic products out at Christmas, but I just love this. So we've just put a glue dot on one of these little wings of the bow. Whoops. There we go, stick them together. Then if you pop a glue dot on one end of this bit, and then simply wrap the bow around, and there you have it. Now with the tails, obviously you can leave it without the tails if you want to. You can pop the tails behind and have the bow going that way, or as I'm doing today, you can have the tails coming down from the bow. So what I like to do is put a glue dot on each of these, the thin ends of the tail. And then you just simply position them where you want them. I mean, it really is as easy as that. How cute is that? How versatile. And you know, you can make it out of card, you can make it out of DSP. It is just so incredibly pretty. And you know, really, the only limit to using this little punch is your imagination. So we're going to put a dimensional on the back of that one, and then just pop it underneath our card, and there you have it. It's as simple as that, but I'm sure your Valentine would absolutely love it. So we've got the real red version, we've got the Calypso Coral and real red versions for a little twist, and then we have this one that uses the wild wasabi. So there it is. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a go and that you put your own spin on it, because that's what crafting's all about. Thank you ever so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.